Hello and welcome back to Europe 1100. And when I actually said hi to Mr. Federico here, he's the leader of this army, by the way, he said, "Hey there, nice to see ya." And I thought to myself, really? Does he really think that? Because I'm not entirely sure. If you take a look at him right here, he does. He does. He actually does like us. He's got 46 relation. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. I thought he was being funny. I thought he was being a bit of a jester and, just playing around a little bit because I thought he had like, negative 100 relation with us or something like that, which I wouldn't be too surprised about, to be honest. I really wouldn't be surprised about that. Okay, so let's actually just move our fellows into position, and this is actually one of my favorite types of battlefields because it literally just does not have any trees. And if you know me, you'll know that I have literally been, the mortal enemy of trees for a very long time, just purely for the fact that I continuously run into them on my mount. Yes, doesn't matter which game it is, I just run into them every single time. And it's very difficult, for some reason, I don't know why it is, but it's very difficult for me to not have that happen, but yes, that is indeed what happens. Anyway, we're just going to send my cavalry over there, because I'd actually like them to deal with the enemy's cavalry. Not sure what's actually going on with them. We can actually tell my other fellows to skirmish, just to kind of maybe bait the opponent into attacking us a little bit here. And that would be fantastic. If we could actually get that working, that would be great. Oh, nice damage. Yeah, I love that. And don't worry, we are going to be taking a look at creating a slightly easier to use polearm that has decent damage as well. Because that's the thing. I did not realize that the handle was only two-handed. I thought that all of these things were usable as two-handed, but I obviously didn't take a look at the fact that some of them are actually used as one-handed, and they have that functionality. And that's the reason why we were unable to see the statistics of both things. So that really made a huge difference. Anyway, we're just going to start moving our forces into position here. This is actually kind of annoying that the AI is a little bit too hesitant right here, but that's just how it goes. They are generally going to be quite defensive because, well, they're at a disadvantage, they're at a disadvantage. They've got to make the best of things, and they can't just run in randomly because they're just going to get themselves murdered. And yeah, well, I do need the assistance of my archers, so I'm kind of hoping that my cavalry doesn't get too decimated before we actually start moving in. But you never know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta deal with it. Okay, hello there. Let's tell our cavalry to charge in right now, because we can actually maybe do some damage to these fellows. As you can see, I'm actually getting a bit murdered myself. Hopefully I'm not gonna die. Okay, well, it's not too bad. I mean, we are getting some infantry coming in here, and oh, nice hit. That was actually pretty lucky for me to do that. And maybe I can just... I think I can probably leave my cavalry charging in right now. I kind of just have to make sure we don't get too massacred. Seems like there is a cavalry running in there, which is obviously not what we want. We really do not want the cavalry running in. Although, to be fair, maybe we can. Maybe we can actually tell them to charge in now. Let's actually just do that. Why not? Let's just tell them to charge in. My archers are actually now firing. They are in a pretty bad position, though. I'm going to need to centralize them a little bit more. I'm probably going to get shot in a second, so just, don't be too surprised if I get murdered here. Some of these drive-by slashes that I'm doing right here are a bit risky, I gotta say. A bit risky. Certainly don't want to get myself, you know, chip damage taken, you know, just get absolutely wrecked by, what, 10 damage? I think probably 10 damage would do the business for them, but yeah, anyway, there we go. 26 renown for us. Not too bad. Obviously, it is going to be more of a marathon now in regards to a sprint in gaining our final clan tier. Anyway, I am going to be continuing to take them prisoner, and that's it. Ah, oh, what, really? This guy was actually taken prisoner by these fellows? I had no idea. Alright. Well, that's good to know, and that's actually a really good thing that we were able to rescue him, because otherwise, well, it was going to be pretty bad. Yes, he's, you know, he's kind of like, pretty important, actually. Pretty important for us to have available so that he can take care of his fiefs, you know, because he's going to be gaining a huge amount of fiefs coming up, because we are, of course, going to be continuing to take as many of these as we can. Let's just get our people equipped with some additional things. I actually think that I have pretty decent armor, but as I said in a previous episode, it feels like we are very lightly armored right now. Let me actually just take a quick look. Where can I see that? In my inventory? Here we go. No, look at that! I have lordly plated striped vambraces. I was hit on the arm for insane damage, and I thought to myself, okay, what's going on with that? Maybe it's my chest piece. Maybe I need to get a better chest piece or something like that. But yeah, you can see here that I'm actually wearing some really good stuff, just purely for the fact that I suppose this particular character was an NPC beforehand. So maybe that is indeed the reason why she has such good gear, because I don't think I gave her that gear, that's for sure. Anyway, let me just make my way over here. We are going to attempt to take the town. Oh, you guys want to attack? Really? You want to attack me? I think that might be a mistake, fellow. I'm just going to auto-resolve against you. I don't really see the point of doing anything else. We're going to be taking them prisoner as well to prevent them from counter-attacking. And they actually have huge amounts of really, really good troops here. So I'm going to be taking as many of them as I can, because, you know, filling those out is really going to make a huge difference in the end. And there we go. That is great. Hilariously enough, I'm gaining relation with our son. Not sure how that's really working, because we are taking people prisoner. I suppose, I don't know, we send a letter to him or something like that? Because I'm going to assume that he's not with us, right? Surely. I don't think Borgar is actually with us in our party. I don't think that's the case. But, yeah, I suppose we send a letter to him and we say something like, oh yes, I have just defeated this fellow. And then he's like, yes, that's very good, you know, mother, I suppose. Because that is exactly who we are to him. But that's very funny, in my opinion. I find that quite amusing. Anyway, we can just continue to take loot here. We need as much money as we can get our hands on. I'm actually kind of hoping that my trade people are still doing their jobs. Are they actually doing their job? Oh no, we only have one. Are you serious? Okay, wait a minute. Who's the other one? Dalaset. Ah, she is having some problems. Okay. Why is she having so many issues? She has 211 in trade skill. That's actually crazy. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to recall her for the moment because I want to create a new caravan as soon as possible. We're going to have to go in here and we're going to have to besiege the town. This... Are you joking right now? This vassal right here is so incredibly weird. Look at this. Look at this vassal right now. She's not joining my army, but now she's joined when I actually use the cursor keys to get over there. Alright, well, whatever the case, we now have 417. Is that enough? I think it will be once we starve out the garrison. They only have 5 days remaining worth of food supplies. So we should be pretty good, but... should be and, you know, are good are two different things. So we should probably be still a bit wary. Not sure what's going on with this fellow. Or Missy or whatever. Anyway, Amelia, I'm not sure whether we can actually take her into our army. It would be wonderful if we could, but I have just started the siege now, so I can't actually... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can actually do something? No, it seems like she is... No, indeed, I cannot do it, as you can see. Cannot add more people in to our army while we are in a siege. And I don't really want to cancel my building progress right now. Okay, so yeah, Dalaset has now joined us, which is perfect, so she can become our next caravan relatively quickly. I'm kind of surprised that I'm not at 300 trade skill already, to be honest, because I have been running caravans quite a lot, but as you can see, we're just taking an age now to get there. So I think what I'm actually going to do, I do have 2 additional companion slots, I think. So I think what I'll do is I will try to just literally get a bunch more. Just get, like, I don't know. With Dalaset, I'll get another 2 on top of that. If I have the opportunity to recruit additional companions, of course, because most of the time it's pretty difficult to actually find companions for some reason. I don't know why. I always have bad luck with finding them, but yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to do something like that. My trebuchets are currently taking an absolute battering. Actually quite surprised about that, because we are eliminating the catapults very, very quickly, but of course, as I said before, our engineering skill is absolutely terrible, so that is making a pretty big difference. Okay, so we're going to have to do something here. We're going to have to say no. It's going to cost me another 430 influence. It doesn't seem like the cost is increasing, so I'm quite happy about that, but every single one of these people wants to make peace, and that's really bad. That is really, really bad for me, because I want to try, and as I said before, I really want to try to capture every single thing that the Sicilians have, because that will create an insanely large territory for us, and I would love to be able to maximize on top of that, because if we can have a big territory, it means that all our vassals are going to become just that much more powerful, and then we don't have to worry about anything, because they can govern their own territory as they like, and we don't have to babysit them as much. You know, that doesn't mean that we're, you know, precluding the fact that they are probably going to need babysitting, because, you know, that's just how it is. But, you know, it is going to make things a slight bit easier, at least in my opinion. So yeah, we're just going to get rid of all these trebuchets for now, as we don't need them to destroy the walls any further, and we're perfectly fine with that. And let's just go in. I find it funny that the game actually gives you that pop-up where it says, you don't have any siege engines. Are you sure you want to deploy anyway? I suppose it's a good reminder, but most of the time, the siege engines are automatically going to be deployed, so I'm not sure what that pop-up is actually for, because when you zone in, it is already there. Your siege engines are already there. It doesn't matter whether you have siege towers or trebuchets or catapults or anything like that. They're already there, so it seems a bit strange to me that they would give you the pop-up, but whatever the case, doesn't really matter. It's neither here nor there, as I am now hopefully not going to get murdered by these guys. Yeah, there we go. Oh, my people are going to come in. Hopefully I can do some damage with this. There we go. That was actually an enemy lord as well. Okay, we're going to have to use some overheads here. Oh, okay, that was a bit surprising. I did not actually realize that there was actually someone super close to me like that. Alright, well, I have a bad feeling about this, actually. I have a bad feeling that we're probably going to need to call for more troops. I don't... I'm not sure if I should have more faith in my forces, but at this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we probably should just get out of here. It feels like we are not having as much of an impact on the siege as we should, because we are already outnumbered. As you can see, we are already outnumbered, and the ratio was really not working in our favor. But we have taken down the walls, and maybe I'm going to be able to call for, yes, as you can see, we can actually call for additional people. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to call for huge amounts of different people here. Look at that. massive amounts, and hopefully they're going to be able to join me. So yes, that is all we needed to do. Now we can go back into the siege. They still have 0 food, which is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of people now in our army, and this is going to make all the difference in the world. Unfortunately, there we go. That was crazy. All right, yeah. Now we have over 1,000. That's actually incredible. That is super, super nice. And now this should be... Actually, why am I building stuff? You see me? You see what I'm doing here? I am an imbecile. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we don't need, we don't need any of those siege engines, those foolish siege engines. No, we don't need any of those. We can just straight go on in here. I mean, I guess it's actually not that bad that I built a couple of those, because I was quite damaged. So, being able to recover from our injuries is probably a pretty decent idea at the best of times. So, it's not that bad, but we're still gonna have some issues. As you can see, we are still outnumbered on the map at least, but in general we are not, of course. I feel like I don't have very good thrown weapons. Are these the javelins actually? Wait a minute. Are these the harpoons? It feels like these are not the harpoons that I'm using right now. It feels like they are just some regular, I don't know, just some regular thrown weapons. I need to actually check that, because it feels to me like I'm doing basically 0 damage with these thrown weapons. I mean, yes, I am doing damage, I understand that, but it feels like I'm doing very little, So that would, I don't know, maybe having a look at that and maybe upgrading them or something, or replacing them altogether. Someone actually did mention, you know what, maybe you want to go for a one-handed or something like that. And yeah, that suggestion actually has crossed my mind, because I thought to myself, well, maybe it would be a good idea for me to have like a short-range weapon, like a mace or an axe or something like that, or, relatively fast one-handed sword, because that would then make things much, much easier for us in these close-quarter situations. Wouldn't have to worry so much about dealing with archers in this particular situation right here, because I'd have a shield available, wouldn't have gotten shot right there, probably wouldn't have taken massive damage from these guys either, because the shield would have saved me. And that's the kind of thing that I think might actually be pretty good. It might be a good idea, so I'm thinking we might go for it. And let's see how Viashin actually is with his little shooty shoot. It actually seems to not be too bad. He seems to be doing decent-ish damage. I feel like he's much better with his one-handed though. Is that just me? Look at this. Look at that. He only has 120 in one-handed, but he seems to do massive damage. Look at his damage. It's actually crazy. Huh. Yeah, maybe we should go for a one-handed. I don't know. I think that sounds like a fun idea. Yeah, maybe that would be cool. I mean, you can see how effective it is with him. Maybe I'm just better with... I don't know. Am I better with one-handed than I am with thrown weapons? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. As maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like he just... I mean, he seems to deal so much damage with this weapon for some reason. Maybe it's just the weapon. Maybe the weapon is really, really good. I don't know. I can't really tell right now, but yeah, I can just shoot these guys super easily, as you can see. There we go. Get him. Wait a minute. There we go. I'm getting shot in the back as well. That's not particularly pleasant, is it? But yeah, we are going to win this. This is one of those times where we can be pretty confident in our numbers, and we don't need to be too worried about getting the defeat. Don't get shot. Nice little strafe at the end there. Try not to get killed by the weaponry of our opponent, because that is going to hurt. Ow. Okay. Well, there you go. I did take, did take a wonderful, wonderful arrow in the shoulder there to finish us off. Not best pleased, but it's okay, because as you can see, this is exactly the reason why I retreated before, by the way. Look at our ratios. The ratios are not good in any way. And it's pretty funny as well. Oh, they actually have catapults. Oh yeah, we probably should have destroyed those. That was the reason why I was probably building trebuchets, and I probably just did that automatically from, not muscle memory as it is, but just, out of habit. Because I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, catapults, we need to take those out. But obviously I didn't think of that in my conscious mind, so we just let them go through, which is not particularly good, but oh well, never mind. As you can see, we did end up losing 80, but that's not bad. That's not bad in the grand scheme of things. We had over 1,000 units, so pretty good. And now we can actually have a look and just obliterate the last remnants of their forces in the keep, and that will be it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be continuing to take people prisoner here. I do not see a point in letting them go now, even though, to be fair, we could try to, you know, persuade them to join us and stuff like that, which would actually be pretty fun, you know, to be able to gain a whole bunch of friends almost instantly. But the problem with that is that it is then providing us with a much greater difficulty of eliminating them to begin with. So that is a, you know, that is a bit of an issue. Anyway, we are just going to be placing some wonderful little money in here. And then we're going to be giving this to the fellow, you know, to the Sultanate culture guy that we recruited in a previous episode. And I'm actually kind of wondering what's going to happen here. We need to go into the trade screen real fast because I do have a huge amount of armor and everything that I'd like to... Oh my. Yeah, I've got so much of this stuff. I feel like I have too much and the marketplaces just don't have enough to really, you know, offset it. But as I said, when we get that skill, you know, when we get the 300 skill points, we need it. Oh yeah, we need it. Okay, so what's actually going on here? This fellow should be able to beat all of these. Yeah, that should be perfectly fine. There's one thing I want to do. I want to go to the tavern. This fellow, yeah, let's just get him. I don't see a problem with that. Let's just get him straight away. And then we're just going to be speaking to a couple of people and get these caravans. This guy is going to make a caravan. And we'll get another caravan up and running here as well. Dalaset. Not sure how that's really going to go, because my caravan is probably going to get attacked by a bunch of people in the area. But I can only hope that that's not going to be the case, and that they will manage to escape. And yeah, hopefully that's going to be good. Anyway, Constantine is currently under siege, or it was, not anymore. Okay. Peace offering. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And there's going to be a vote. Yep, that's perfect. And then we can make this guy the owner of this, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And otherwise, we're good. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And I mean, you can see the combat strength. They still have a really large amount of combat strength. We would receive 2,700 tribute per day if we made peace with them, which I gotta say, I actually really like. That is a nice tribute number. But the problem with doing that is, well, pretty obvious. You know, as I said before, you know, I weighed up all of the pros and cons of doing that in the previous episode, so, you know, I'm not going to go over it again, but generally, yeah, it's, yeah, bit of a difficult situation to be in. But anyway, this fellow, can we actually fight him? Can I even get to him? No, I can't, because he just got on his boat. All right. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to continue our besieging spree, shall we say? And hopefully we're going to be able to continue to earn trade skill here as well. And I'm going to need to do some more cohesion things. All right, so this is going to be super, super easy now because I have loads of people in my army and the engineering skill is just going to skyrocket all of the speed into the trebuchets. Okay, unfortunately, Dalaset is getting... Yeah, okay. Dalaset got captured, which I am obviously not best pleased about. But as I said, we did kind of, you know, start the caravan in pretty risky territory. But that's the problem. I have to, you know, I have to do that. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to have to make my way all the way back to friendly territory, back in Italy itself. And it's just not something that I can do right now, you know. It's just too far away. There's too much time investment in me going across the ocean. It's just not really going to work out too well. All right, so we can go for some more vigor here if we want to. We can go for some more social. I think we should go for endurance. So that's what I'm going to do because he has 5 in vigor already, and getting endurance is really kind of important. And he only has 2 in it at the moment, so getting some of that is probably going to be quite useful. Maybe we want to go for some one-handed here. He's an insane two-handed beast for some reason, so maybe we want to go for athletics. I think that's what we'll do. And he apparently shows natural talent in engineering. Right, okay. Not a big fan of that, but I guess that's okay, you know. I'll support him in whatever he wants to do. But yes, engineering is going to be a little bit difficult for us to... actually, you know what? Maybe it's not too bad. Maybe it's not too bad for him, but it's definitely not something that I'm thinking that it's going to be... I mean, it might be useful, actually. It might be useful because our character at the moment is currently our only engineer, and if we are going to be taking over as a Borgar in the future, then it would probably make the most sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer because the garrison is almost done. And then we can go in straight away and we should be fine. Technically, I don't even need to wait that long because there's only 260 troops in here and they are really not going to be able to stand up against us. If the town couldn't with, what was it? What did they have? 600 or something like that? So yeah, generally... you know, it should be fine. It should really be fine for us to just go straight on it. Alright, so let's just speed this up and get on in there. Maybe I can do... yep, there we go. Whew, that was close. Almost got stopped there by a bunch of polearm wielding fellows. Oh, this is going to be nice and easy, yeah. This is the kind of thing... Look at this. This is the kind of thing that you can literally do if you are super lucky. Because obviously, let's face it, me not getting shot in the face immediately or getting stopped by those polearm users at the front here, that was basically the only reason why I was able to get in here. You know, if they had stopped me with their polearms, would have been impossible. Ah, look at this. Oh, look at me. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is what I like to see. That is absolutely wonderful. Look at us being a complete beast and a distraction like no other. That is real nice. And as you can see, we've already broken their front lines. And that is what we like. Oh, yes, we love that. Because now I can just go to town. Oh, the retreating point is right here, actually, which is very funny. So every single person is going to be coming in this direction. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually get shot now and killed. But maybe I can just speed things up and hide over here. Yep, there we go. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that was really nice and simple too. Okay, so once again, we can send in our troops in a wonderful little auto-resolve. Get those guys out of the keep. Very, very simple for us to do that. And we got a decent person there to recruit. And we got some more loot there as well. Okay, so we'll just show mercy once again. Mengus is not too pleased about us showing mercy to these people, but I don't really want to do it any other way, to be honest. I kind of want to make sure that all of these things are not losing a huge amount of loyalty, because I want as much loyalty as we can possibly get our hands on, you know. And me putting 40,000 into each of these places immediately is really important to me as well, because I want to make sure that whoever owns it has a really good time of owning it. And I'm talking about, you know, making sure that they are not having to put a huge amount of effort into building it up in terms of upgrades. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Ah, they put a bunch of people in the garrison. That's wonderful. Look at that. There's 57 in there already. So that's great. That means that it's going to be very difficult for enemies to take it, hopefully. And I'm going to be going for walk it off here, because plus 10% hit point regeneration. Or as the typo in the perk says, well, I'm not going to say it, but yes, as you can see, it is completely different. That's a funny typo. All right, well, whatever the case, we have a focus point, which I'm actually quite surprised at. So I guess we'll just go for some engineering, because that's kind of what we are needing right now, considering we are actually being a, you know, conqueror at the moment, more than a battle specialist, I suppose you could call it. And otherwise, I'm going to move over here because we need some food, and I would need to go over to this village. It's really surprising how we're literally doing the same kind of sieges that we were doing beforehand against the Sultanate. Now we're just doing them against the Sicilians, but It is slightly different, obviously, because we do have, you know, different enemies to fight. And they are, they're at a pretty late stage of elimination, in my opinion, because I think that they're probably going to be done relatively soon. But you never know. I mean, look at this. They have really done an absolutely wonderful job of filling out their garrisons. Their garrisons are insanely large, but they don't really have much to speak of, as in their unit quality is very, very low. 13 days, however, look at this, 13 days worth of food remaining inside the walls. And that's actually something that I am probably not going to be able to do here. I don't think I will be able to starve them out. So I will try to destroy the walls, and then we will just go straight on in, and we'll see what we can do with that. Because as it stands, I think waiting, I don't know, maybe waiting 10 days is okay? I actually don't know about that, considering how long it takes to get the walls down is a bit variable. You can't always know when you're going to take down the walls. And wow, look at my trebuchet. It literally just got killed almost instantly. That is pretty crazy. And we just got to make sure that we don't forget about the cohesion or anything like that. And I think we should be fine. But I don't really want to wait additional 7 days. Do you? I don't want to wait an additional 7 days. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the last few catapults to be destroyed, and then we're just going to go straight on in. We have 936 in our army at the moment, and hopefully that's going to be enough for us to achieve victory here. But as we've seen, the ratio of kills to deaths, or the ratio of kills to kills in some cases in regards to the enemy, because they obviously have the ability to inflict some pretty big casualties on us, and that's pretty difficult for us to deal with sometimes. Okay, this is not good. Okay, let me just let me just extract myself from the situation. Thank you very much. That was not too good. And we do have some trebuchets actually doing some damage, surprisingly enough. So that's pretty good. I basically left it up there just because I was kind of wanting to test out to see whether the trebuchets actually do something, especially in a siege with a target-rich environment, because we've got a bunch of enemies to fight, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just leave them up and running and see exactly what happens. Maybe they're going to be useful. Oh. Well, I just got absolutely murdered. I just got shot from somewhere or another. I have no idea where, but we did. The main problem with my forces right now is that they're just literally standing here, running into each other. I actually thought that they had fixed that kind of problem, but yeah, as you can see, they're literally just colliding with each other over and over again and refusing to enter the keep. I think that might be partially the reason why sometimes we have some issues. But thankfully, we were able to achieve victory here, albeit, you know, they retreated to the... Well, obviously they did. They retreated to the keep. But we were able to do this relatively simply. Not too many casualties here, surprisingly enough. And as far as I'm aware, the trebuchets did not really get too many kills. So I guess that kind of gives me good information on whether I should keep them active or not. I suppose there is always a chance, but it feels like there is a very minuscule benefit from doing that in comparison to having those troops that would be operating them actually helping you at the front line. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll probably just leave them the way they are and put them back into the reserves before we charge. Anyway, there you go. Okay, so we've got a significant amount of well, everything going on here. They've done a great job of upgrading this, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Let's have a look and see how much they have in the marketplace here. 90... Okay. They got 91,000. Thank you. I will be taking absolutely all of your cash, or trying to as much as I can. Here we go. 87,000. Very nice indeed. And I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.